You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast,
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 324. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on still Twitter, and I'm joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and God damn it, I wanted to say artist extraordinaire. You're also artist extraordinaire, but hardcore casual himself, Roshan Warner at Roro.
Hello.
Hello. That's 2 weeks in a row that I've completely butchered the opening. You know what's funny? Last week's episode, I edited it and posted it, and then realized after I posted it that I forgot to cut out the first part. So, now it's just an Easter egg. Yeah, that whole second recording.
Like, we'll start it over. No one will know.
Yeah, no one will know, except everyone knows. We are also joined, of course, by our resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins.
ready to glaze, sir.
Glaze on, soldier. And thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. Guys, at the top of the show this week, we're changing it up a little bit. We have breaking news. Highguard developer Wildlight Entertainment has seemingly laid off most of their staff. This is coming directly from developer saying, unfortunately, along with most of the team at Wildlight, I was laid off today. Holy shit.
Holy crap. Nope.
I'm caught in this limbo between wanting to make the obvious jokes and then also being like, well, these are people that lost their jobs. But also, like, what did we think was gonna happen? Like, CEOs need to be stopped. Studio leadership, we need to do something. I feel like this is a totally avoidable situation, but
you know what? We need to stop Jeff. We need to stop Jeff Keighley too, because he fucking was like, he was like, man, this game's sick, like all the, and he kept saying it up to launch day. He's like, man, I can't wait to see what everyone thinks today.
Right. If this podcast wasn't live and we like edited it first, this is when we throw up the clip of exactly what he said on the Game Awards. Because didn't he say some crazy shit like this is like a revolutionary? This is gonna be the next. This is the next iteration of SPS game. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley, the man that you are.
Quite wild.
I made this was one of my predictions that I was hoping that it would come out and do well. And by well, we made the parameters be at least a 70 on OpenCritic. It did not make that. It got like 63 or something. So that fun prediction didn't happen. I was half expecting it, but I wanted to do a fun one. And
yeah,
right.
Very sad. But yeah, it's like Gage said, is like what were we expecting from this game? And I wrote in our chat, one trailer, then silence, gameplay showcase on the day of release, and then layoffs 2 weeks after launch. An interesting strategy, I must say. And
right.
Yeah, I mean, what if they just like did a beta or like I don't know, because a lot of people were willing to give it a shot when it actually came out. I saw like the general consensus kind of start to shift a little bit more. Like, okay, let's give it a chance. Not positively, but like let's see the game first. And then the game came out and it wasn't great, but people were given like some good criticism and willing to see them hopefully turn the ship. But I don't know if they'll get that chance now.
Yeah. Yeah, and they made a positive change last week when they added the 5v5 mode. I thought, that was one of my main criticisms of the game was like it was just a wide open map that felt very very empty. So that was a great change they made, but unfortunately doesn't seem like it was enough.
Yeah. If if I were a betting man, I'm guessing that behind the scenes, studio leadership got it in their heads that they could do like an Apex Legends type thing, and that if they played their cards
Stealth
super
drop.
close to the chest and shadow dropped it exactly, that the hype would carry them. But you need like cachet, I think, to do that. You need to have like a reputation of making
Right.
bangers. And I know they tried to do the sizzle reel at the beginning of the reveal trailer with like, these are all the people from all these studios, but it's like this isn't an established this is not an established team that has shown that they can produce something
Right.
of this caliber. So yeah, I think just a really not well thought out plan and an execution to match.
Yeah.
And not to say that like this is the team behind Apex Legends doesn't mean anything, but we have so many examples of studios coming from like those famous developers, or like that Callisto Protocol is a pretty good example. I feel like where they have a past, and they have like some pretty acclaimed games, and then they come out and make their own thing, and it doesn't land. And we're just seeing that more and more often recently with these like startups, where it doesn't really it does mean something, but it also doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
at the same time. So I agree with what Gage is saying.
Yeah, and like in the case of Callisto Protocol, like I think that game could have been like way better if they had focused on what made Dead Space so good in terms of like the moment to moment gameplay, whereas they kind of went more like the melee approach, and it didn't feel right with the same mechanics. So it's like, yeah, it definitely is interesting. Like they're trying to put their own spin on it, like these people that made these successful things in the past and made new teams, but yet it's not successful in the same way because it just doesn't feel the same.
Agreed.
All right. So that's our housekeeping this week. That crazy news at the top of the show. But now we're transitioning into the topic of the show, which is this week our Gen 10 next generation, we'll label it, console details and predictions. Of course, Gen 10 is the next generation. So we're going to go over some details that we got this week from Jez Corden about the next gen Xbox. We got a lot more details surrounding it, and also we're going to talk about a little bit of what Sony may be up to and what that next gen looks like. So, without further ado here, Microsoft's next generation Xbox is the company's most ambitious and risky gaming platform, built as a Windows 11 gaming PC with a TV optimized console-like interface. It supports full backward compatibility for all Xbox One, Series X and S, Xbox 360, and OG Xbox games, plus any Windows 11 PC titles. Users can exit the Xbox interface to full Windows for tasks like streaming, coding, or music production, akin to Steam Deck's Linux mode. 4 hardware features an AMD semi-custom SoC, codenamed Magnus. AMD CEO Lisa Su also said that development of Microsoft's next-gen Xbox features an AMD custom SoC, which is progressing well to support a launch in 2027. Now, this 2027 launch is a best-case scenario, according to Microsoft insiders, who are surprised by Sue's timeline from AMD. They're pending Windows 11 polish. It seems like they have a lot of work to do on the Windows 11 side of things. Xbox President Sarah Bond confirmed a multi-year Xbox and AMD partnership for hardware and backward compatibility. Xbox and Windows teams are collaborating for a seamless console-like OS experience on top of Windows 11. It's going to support multiple storefronts, including the Xbox Store, Steam, Epic Games Store, with ports to PlayStation and Switch 2 for their games. The Xbox Everywhere strategy offers hardware choices both via OEM partners and like Asus with the Xbox Ally Preview, as well as Microsoft's own branded stuff. OEMs Asus, Lenovo, and Razer are to offer a range of Xbox branded devices at different price and performance points. Microsoft, of course, is planning its own first-party Xbox handheld in the future as well, as we've heard. An NPU-powered features like auto-generated gameplay highlight clips, testing on Xbox Ally X, and rollout in March of 2026. AI features. Emphasizes cross-play, cross-saves, and cross-purchasing via Xbox Play Anywhere to grow the industry. First-party games are being ported to Steam, PlayStation, and Switch 2, with easier development publishing tools and major updates coming at GDC 2026. Polished software experiences is critical, with current Ally handhelds highlighting Windows issues to fix. The Epic Games Store and Steam are both expected to be a part of the next Xbox's multi-store openness alongside their own store. Kind of reiterated. The price is uncertain due to tariffs and costs. OEMs for affordability, but the next Xbox may skew more premium, over $1,000, while lower-end options may persist via partners. Also, Series S support will be extended. This also echoes the original Xbox vision of Windows in the living room, a Surface-like premium ecosystem strategy. Okay, so that was a lot there. That's kind of the rundown of our updates on the next Xbox, and it seems like based on like what AMD's CEO is saying, like they originally planned to have a 2027 launch, but I feel like at this point there's no way that's coming next year because of the price of everything right now. For one, like RAM and storage is getting insane pricing right now because of shortages due to companies transitioning to AI instead, which is unfortunate. So I think originally 2027 was a realistic outcome, but now it's like, will this come in 2028 or later? I think a good shot of it at this point.
Right. Which is funny because like, how does that work for them if they're manufacturing it now?
Yeah.
They're paying the inflated price, right? Even at their OEM or at scale discount, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So like, that's what I don't understand. Like, if they're waiting for prices to cool off in 2028, I mean, are we thinking that they're waiting to manufacture until then? Because that's
yes. I don't think they're manufacturing yet. Yeah, I think AMD is still like working on the SoC, and it's kind of like maybe close to final, but I doubt that they start manufacturing until they can get a solidified like release window.
Gotcha. Right. So they're still in like the R&D phase.
Yeah. That's what I'm assuming anyways.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like the irrational part of my brain is like, I want new thing, but then Christian's brought this up a lot, and I think Ro has too in the past, where it's like, have we actually even gotten that much out of this generation? Like, I don't know that it's the worst thing in the world to extend this generation like an extra year. So I mean, I think late 2020, like fall 2027 would probably be the middle point for what I want and what I think is healthy. But I think it's just gonna, like you said, it's gonna come down to whether or not this AI bubble seems to pop. But yeah, extending this generation, I don't think you're gonna get many complaints from a lot of people, especially when everybody's like pinching their wallets a little bit. And we still have GTA 6 coming out this year, officially for sure this year, Dan.
Well,
which will be a great like next gen experience on this current gen. So I don't know. I think 2028, if that's what ends up happening, is not. I don't think it's the end of the world.
Fair.
I agree. I hope we get a little bit more out of this this console generation for both Xbox and PlayStation. for the port situation, I think I misunderstood the first time, but when there was another point that mentioned ports a little bit later, it's it's Xbox that's porting to these
Yes.
stores, right? To PlayStation and Switch too, not the other
Yes.
way around.
Yes.
Because I was saying
Correct.
they'd be killing their PlayStation and Switch. That wouldn't make much sense for them to do that. But yeah, that seems interesting to me. That seems like a cool idea, and I guess yeah, just this is kind of like the point that we were expecting Xbox to slowly head into, I guess, where they're more of like like they say, like the play anywhere system. So use us and you'll get the other games here
Mhm.
eventually, or our games on other places eventually. I like the option to go into Windows mode, just like that kind of stuff seems kind of cool. I'm just hoping that the price, like you guys are saying, is affordable when it does arrive. Um, but it always comes down to games, right? So
Yeah.
we have to see more, of course. But it does sound like a powerful piece of hardware, and again, like hopefully it's affordable along with these cool specs and stuff.
Yeah, and I think the most exciting thing to me is that they're actually focusing efforts on making the Windows experience better for Xbox, because essentially this thing is gonna be a PC. So like we're finally getting the Xbox team and Windows team like working side by side to make that experience really good on controller, so that like even if you don't want to buy Microsoft's next gen console, whatever PC, you just buy a PC at whatever price point you feel most comfortable with, and then you can still use that interface that they're supposedly working on to make that a living room experience that you could then plug into your TV if you choose to do that. Now, it may not be the pretty, it may not be as pretty and as compact as what Microsoft may be able to push out with their own custom silicone, but it's exciting that you'll have more options to be able to get to that same point.
Right. I will say I do think that there's a very I mean I think we are in the space with Xbox and more specifically Microsoft that like there's a very real chance this could be the last generation of like in-house hardware depending on how this generation goes. Um and honestly I think performance wise this is probably going to be it's going to be similar to the PS5. Like they're going to be in the same ballpark. I don't think that's going to make or break this. I really do think, and you talked about this when you were going through the rundown. I really think the UI is going to be like a big linchpin for this thing. Like they have to get this thing feeling smooth,
Yeah.
on the consumer facing side of things, especially with like the PC hybrid stuff. It's getting people like you and me very, very excited. Obviously, we love the idea of like, yeah, Epic Game Store and Steam. Absolutely. We've got friends in our friend group that like we could be playing PC games with, but they don't want to deal with all the hassle. And this is like that perfect middle ground. But like the Windows 11 sort of foundation that this thing's going to be built on, Windows 11 has so many problems, and like I just think that they really have to nail the UI. And like from what I've heard of the Xbox handheld, it's very hit or miss. And I think they got to pay a lot of attention to that, because that is the one glaring difference. I'll talk about this and what you got for me, but I've been using the PlayStation 5 a lot more lately. And that thing, I think I've compared it to it in the past, but like it feels like an Apple product when you're navigating. Like it's just so smooth and so quick and so clean. And I feel like if Xbox can nail the user interface and really like make this feel like a couch PC designed for the couch, that's going to be an interesting and unique area that I think it can maybe propel it back to like its prior standing. But I just hope that it's not rushed. I hope this thing doesn't come out and we're seeing articles of like people's home console page being busted and frozen and all this stuff. That's what I'm really, really worried about.
The other the other interesting part that I was thinking about is like obviously with the ability to go to Windows, like that inherently adds a challenge because you don't have a keyboard and mouse necessarily with, like, it's not like you're, let me just pull my keyboard and mouse up on my lap. Well, so like, how does that look? But like, I was thinking about it. What if they made the controller where we're going back to the Xbox 360 days where you add the chat pad on the bottom for your keyboard, and then you have like a gyro or some kind of motion thing in the controller that acts as a cursor, as like a mouse, so to speak. So
Can I say something? I would love that. The nostalgia would go crazy for me with the chat pad, because I think I bought that, and then I liked the way the controller felt with it, so I just had it on permanently, even though like I barely ever used it. So I'm a chat pad lover. There is a much more simpler option, and this is I just hope that they're thinking of this entire ecosystem thoroughly, because then that can mitigate a lot of these problems. But I think that the solution is just like you do what PlayStation is doing, and you put a mic in the controller, right? And then if you go to that, and you just have really good AI sort of like. And not the AI that we're all worried about, but just like in terms of like, you just, instead of typing on a keyboard, you just speak into the controller, and like, it plays it out. That to me is the simplest solution. Again, I would love the chat pad. I don't know how that would go over with like casual audiences. Like, I'm just thinking of like, again, the casual gamer that like plays maybe just FIFA or just sports games, and it's like, okay, if I want to use this thing properly, I gotta get this crazy looking keypad that looks like it's from the 90s. I don't know. I would like it, but like but we're both saying the same thing, which is like they need to really think of everything. I think if they're gonna go down this route of the PC hybrid, you need to be thinking of these things. If people do decide to peel back the layers, do you have something there for them to make that process smoother?
And obviously, like the chat pad thing could just be optional, and you have like virtual keyboard on screen. You still have that option. Because like, yeah, your idea is interesting. I'm trying to think how that would look in real life, practicality.
I think of it like like your phone, right? Like this, like the speech to text.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering if like we're too early for that, because like sometimes my Alexa will listen to me, and now I just said her name, so and this is this is supposed to be the smart version of her, and she'll think that I said something completely different, and I'm just like, why are you listening? I didn't say that. Like, shut the fuck up. Gage makes fun of me because he always says the AI is gonna revolt against me first because I'm always mean to them, but it's like they deserve it sometimes. I mean.
Oh,
anyways,
she's listening.
See? That's the type of shit.
Oh,
there's actually there's a philosophical idea that has a name where it's like, if the AI is eventually going to take over, then anyone who stood in its way or degraded it will be the first to go. And Dan, you fall right into that trap, buddy. You fall right into that trap.
Sometimes you just have to fall on the sword. That's all I gotta say. Okay. So that's our Xbox thoughts. We don't have any brand new information about PlayStation 6. However, we do have some stuff that has been somewhat recent, where people have been talking about the launch window for PlayStation 6. And a lot of analysts have predicted that PlayStation 6 is likely to launch after 2028. So what that means after 2028, does that mean 2029, or does it mean like late in 2028? I don't think that's very surprising either, because it's like PlayStation 5 still very powerful and has the Pro version, PS5 Pro, that could extend its life as well. And it's like we're to the point that, like you said, Gage, with both of these consoles, we're still getting to like the precipice of what these consoles can really do, especially with GTA 6 coming out here soon to push them to their limits. So very real possibility that we don't see either of these consoles until 2028 or later, with the pricing situation and everything else.
Right.
Oh my gosh. If the this is from the same article, if the PS6 were to arrive in 2029 or 2030 instead of the initially expected 2027, we're in for a longer news cycle approaching its inevitable launch. Oh my gosh. 2030. That would be a 10-year cycle. That's just
and I think
crazy.
that's too long. That's
wow.
well, then I don't like. Then again, it all depends on the games, right? Like I don't know, because if GTA 6 comes out, and it probably will, but like let's say it's like pushing the envelope, then it's kind of like, all right, well, this is what's possible in this generation, so
Yeah.
everybody else just needs to step up a little bit, and we can extend this console lifespan. Yeah, 2030. That would suck. I do kind of want to unwrap the styrofoam a little bit, but.
Yeah. When GTA 6 comes out in spring 2027, we're going to really be cooking there.
This year. This year.
Rose praying for his fantasy team.
Please. It's not looking so hot right now.
I mean, we did say that you've become Gage this year, Rose, so that means GTA 6
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
getting
have
delayed.
to step in here and say that we're gonna stop using gauge as a pejorative like term. That's just not gonna cut it for me. Ro is doing extremely poorly because he's not based like I am. That's a much better way to phrase it, I think.
God damn it.
Oh, Jesus. Now he's attacking
I
you,
only have
Ro.
one, I only have one less game than Gage right now. I'm running out of room
Wow.
on my thing. And we still have to pick a VR title, which I don't think there's any VR games coming out this year, if I'm being completely
I don't think they make VR games anymore, to be honest. I think we're screwed.
Yeah, we're all kind of fucked on that, I think. And free to play. I mean, free to play, who the fuck knows what we're getting this year, you know?
One of us just has to be the first to pick it. I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to be one that drops, and whoever gets it, gets it.
Somebody's going to bid like $35 on the first free to play that looks decent. All right. Let's dive into the news of the week, guys, because we've got a lot of stuff to get through. Wait, we didn't even make any predictions. I forgot that's part of what this title is. Fuck. Shit. Let's back up a second. Whoop. We're going back to the topic of the show. Okay. Do we have any off the cuff predictions here? Because I didn't tell us to plan any predictions, but if you did, that's fine. Do we have any off the cuff predictions as a whole that we could predict here for the next consoles?
Oh, here's the question I have for you two, because you two are more knowledgeable on this. How long is the average state of play? Because when they said that the state of play is going to be an hour, does that mean this is going to be like a tentpole flagship kind of state of play? Because I feel like they're normally, what, like 20, 30 minutes?
Wait, what?
That we could answer that for the next one, but I think Dan is asking for predictions for the Gen 10 consoles before we do state of play consoles or state of play predictions.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah.
But yes, I think this is the longest state of play what we're going to talk about next. It's the longest.
Yeah.
I think the easiest prediction we could do is like, what do we think these things are going to cost? I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so,
I would.
God.
Is that easy to predict?
I don't know
because
that yeah.
It would be easy if we weren't in this AI bubble, because then we could just kind of look at past generations and then do the inflation math. But like, there's like so many factors that we have to account for now, where it's like, okay, are we doing the price assuming everything goes back to normal? Or are we doing the price assuming that, like, I don't know.
Honestly, I think the next Xbox is going to be over 1,000 or 1,000 or more. I think it's going to be $999 or more.
Now, here's the crazy thing. You're saying $999 USD.
Yes. Or more.
1,400 for an Xbox Canadian is kind of crazy, but that might be the universe that we're living in.
But the handheld, I think, will be maybe $6.99.
That was supposed to like walk us off the edge, but that still did not sound good at all.
I don't know. That's just my wild guess, is not knowing what the situation's going to be like. I don't know. Do we all think that these consoles are coming in 2028 then?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think we're in agreement on that. Okay. Well, does anyone else want to just throw their hat in the ring on price, or do you just want to move on?
I'm gonna make my prediction that I'm gonna say that the AI bubble starts to cool down, and I'm gonna say $8.99 for the main console. I don't know. I don't know if Phil Spencer can tank that $1,000 price tag. I think they're gonna be willing to take just a little bit more of a hit to try and stay away from that headline that's gonna be running rampant.
What about the handheld?
$8.99 for the console, and then I think maybe $6.49 for the handheld. I don't think the handheld's gonna be. I think you're right in the ballpark for that handheld.
Okay, all right. Ro, do you want to take a stab at it?
Sure. So for the home console, what can I say here? I'll do in the middle of you guys. 970 exactly.
970.
Yeah.
What the hell?
$970 for the console.
For the home console?
The home console.
That's such a weird price.
I didn't want to do $9.99 again.
Well, how about this? I'll say 1,000 or more, and then if you want to do $9.99, I feel like you have no chance to say 970. That's such a weird price.
It was crazy. That was wild for you to say. I'm gonna go exactly in between you guys, and then you chose a number that was not in between us.
Let's go with that. Let's go with $9.99 then.
$9.99.
And
okay.
For the console, for the handheld, let's do $750.
Oh, $750.
Wow.
Okay.
$750.
Interesting.
They're gonna make up all the losses on the home console with the handheld.
Yeah.
That's their strategy. I love it.
Incredible.
Sarah Bond, I'm up next.
Oh. Yeah. Sarah Bond might be in charge when these come out. Who knows?
We'll see about that.
Whoa! Is that a threat, Ro? Are you threatening Sarah Bond?
No, you know what? Ro's actually kind of base, because nowadays it feels like Satya Nadella is the only one that's in charge, and that's
yes, that's very true. You know why? Because money talks. All right.
Now we can talk about the state of play.
Now, or we can talk about the partner direct first.
Oh, yes.
Nintendo partner direct, because I'm sure there's stuff in there that you care about, Ro. As he's like, no, not really. He's like, fuck that. It was all stupid shit.
Like, it wasn't the best, but there's games in there that I want to play.
Okay, all right.
For sure.
Like old school anime inspired co-op game Orbitals.
Yes, actually.
There you go.
That looks good. That was the one that they showed off at the Game Awards.
It is. Yep. It looks very good. It looks very good. They showed off a Switch 2 release window for that. They did show or announce the release date for the Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, also coming to Xbox as well. Which I don't know what that date is. June 3rd. June 3rd is that date. And then they also announced Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse Scares Up, February's release date for Nintendo Switch. This is from IGN. Spooky. We also got Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters gameplay. Little soccer action. We got Tokyo Scramble, which is delivering Underground Dino Horror with a Nintendo Switch 2 release date. Huge. I honestly didn't even watch the partner showcase, so just seeing dinos, I am in. Everyone knows how I love my dinos. Christian loves to make fun of me for my dinos. All right, Valheim is coming to Switch 2 as well, bringing survival in 2026.
One of the best survival games you can play right now, by the way. Play Valheim if you haven't. Fantastic.
There you go. Hollow Knight is getting an upgrade that is shadow dropped for the Nintendo Switch 2. It is out now. Upgrade for free if you own the original. eFootball Kickoff is coming this summer to the Switch 2. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales is coming in June 18th, 2026. Super Bomberman Collection is coming to Switch consoles as well for Switch 1 and 2. Coming to a physical release in August of 2026. Pragmata has a release date set for April 24th, coming to Switch 2. Turok Origins has been announced for Switch 2 with a fall 2026 release window. My webpage decided to scroll all the way to the top for some reason. Kyoto Xanadu is transporting players to an alternate reality this summer. Brand new action RPG from Nihon Falcom. I don't know why I couldn't read. My brain was not processing. Digimon Storytime Stranger is coming to Switch and Switch 2 in July. Bro.
Let's go.
There you go. You wanted it, right?
I did want it.
Even
I
though
wanna start over, but this is awesome.
progress. Yeah.
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 If it had cross save, I would be even more happy. But yeah,
Yep.
Still cool.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok. What the hell is that name? Launches for Nintendo Switch 2 in July.
Perfect anime name.
Yes, it is. I think Gage picked this one up. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is coming in March for his Fantasy Critic.
It's going to be huge for me. It's going to be huge points.
Huge.
People do like what they're seeing.
Arcade.
Dunking on Game Freak as well. For this looking so good and Pokemon not looking as good on the same console.
Yes. But Game Freak's going to make an amazing game this year called Reincarnation.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That Dan drafted. Arcade and console archives revisit classics in 2026. The first two titles, Cold Borders and Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, are available this year. Or, I'm sorry, are available now with more games coming later this year. We got a little sizzle reel as well with a bunch of stuff in there. Resident Evil Requiem footage showed off for their new amiibo functionality for Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, coming on February 27th. And then we got a bunch of Bethesda announcements. This was like the Bethesda show at this point. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered are all coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. And that's it. That's our Nintendo Direct. All right, now, Gage. Now let's move over to the state of play that's happening tomorrow for our other news of the week item. What are we expecting to see? We have a new state of play airing February 12th tomorrow, which is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I get a fucking state of play to unbox. Tune in for 60 plus minutes of news, gameplay updates, and announcements from game studios across the globe. PlayStation says 60 plus minutes. Huge. But before we talk about what we may see, there has been a little bit of stuff that has come out, including DMC5's V voice actor Brian Hanford has made a cryptic tweet about Devil May Cry 6 rumors. So maybe Devil May Cry 6 getting announced tomorrow. And we also got information from Insomniac Games directly when they were asked when the next time we would see more info on Wolverine, and they responded with spring 2026. So do not expect to see Wolverine at tomorrow's showcase. So, with all that being said, we may see Devil May Cry 6. What else may we What else may we see tomorrow?
Well, Dan, for your birthday, do you know what you're getting, buddy?
What's that?
This is an inside source, by the way. This is 100% confirmed. I can tell you this is happening.
Okay, what's that?
You're getting The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. That's what you're getting, buddy.
Let's go.
Now with plus 2.5% graphical fidelity over the already stupidly good looking game. And guess what? What's the roguelite mode they added? What was it called?
Left Behind? Or no?
No, that's the
DLC.
one
Never
that's
mind. No. Yeah.
What was it called? Not grounded. That's the difficulty. I don't know. The joke's gone now, but that's gonna be bundled with the game, and skin for Ellie's bow. Pre-order now.
For full price?
Yeah, for full price. You better bet your bottom dollar. This is a premium game.
Fuck yeah!
Don't you know there's an HBO TV show about this game, Dan?
Oh, come on! What are you doing?
And you know what? I was gonna say on a serious note, but I actually think there's quite a good chance that happens. I think we're gonna see some more Soros. I think that's possible. I think that's possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's coming out fairly soon, I think, right?
Does it have a window? I thought it was just 2026. Which granted is still like around the corner, but
it's April 30th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So then I would say that we're definitely going to see some Soros then.
Soros. Hell of a call there. Hell of a call. Do we think any surprises? Like, do we see the next God of War show up here, or I don't know.
Sly Cooper 5.
Sly Cooper 5. Wow.
Don't play with my heart like that, Ro.
I don't think so. Definitely not God of War. I don't think.
That's fair.
But I mean Astrobot is their like kid family friendly mascot right now. But I was joking about the Sly Cooper thing. But I would love like a Little Big Planet, something like that again,
right.
like to go back to those days again. I would like more of that on PlayStation. As much as I love the God of Wars and the Last of Us and stuff like that, I like a little bit more of those Super Monkey Balls and stuff like that. Great escape stuff. Yeah, family friendly stuff. As well.
Marathon.
Platformers. Yes. Yeah.
That
Marathon.
not family friendly. Not that but
Not,
Not what I was
you know,
talking
not,
about.
no. Sorry, that was
the segue there was non-existent.
that was not
but
a good,
yeah.
not a good segue. I apologize.
I like where Rose
I was
head's at
trying
though,
to-
because PlayStation is kind of becoming the over-the-shoulder brutal violence. Hey, isn't violence kind of a cycle? It's kind of like becoming like their thing. So it would be nice if they did a Legacy sequel. Would go crazy. I would love a Sly Cooper or like Little Big Planet or something like that. That'd be awesome.
Really cool. But I do think, yeah, Marathon will be there, Dan. I agree. I think there'll be a little something. I think Sonic's going to be there too. I've heard some leakers in the Sonic community talk about it, like the sequel to Frontiers might be there. So that would be cool. I think they have like revealed new Sonic games at the State of Plays before, so it wouldn't be super crazy. That would be great for me.
Trying to think. So Phantom Blade Zero, is that coming only to PlayStation, or is that coming to, PC and PlayStation? So we may see more Phantom Blade Zero. Interesting.
Okay. That'd be cool. I'm just bringing it up because people were bringing it up on Twitter, but the actor that played Connor in Detroit Become Human retweeted the State of Play announcement and did like the little eye emoji. I don't think it means anything because I think he streams now. So he's probably just excited, just going to react to it. But some people were like, "Oh, are they going to do a Detroit Become Human sequel or not a remake, a remaster or something?" But I doubt it really is anything like that. I think he's just excited for the thing. But that was just something to bring up as well. There's a little rumor going around.
Okay. The other thing that I saw, Fair Games, because that was supposed to, I think, come out last year, and then it was like internally delayed to this year. I don't think we've seen that game in a long time. Do we see something from that game? Continuing Sony's live service push.
Is that the heist game? The futuristic heist game?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That could be a thing. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't think it's true, but I have seen it on a few of the leak kind of areas of the internet that I follow. There has been some murmurings that Naughty Dog is working on a multiplayer project. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but if they uncanceled factions after the success of Arc Raiders, that would maybe bring me back into thinking that we're not in the worst timeline possible.
Don't get your hopes up.
I know I'm not holding my breath for that. No, I'm not holding my breath for that one.
Just to have them crushed and taken away from you once
We
more.
can all admit though that would go crazy, and I would totally be fine with like I will forgive every criticism I gave you for listening to Bungie if you guys just undid that decision. That would be awesome.
If they do something interesting, yeah, I think we all assume that what they were building was absolutely amazing, and it may have been, but it also could have been shit. Like it could have been something like but it would have been interesting to see like leaks from that, like to see like people who worked on it leak a few design docs and so that we could give ourselves a little bit of an idea of what they were going for.
And it's so funny not to turn this into a topic about Naughty Dog's unreleased factions game, but like I do remember when we talked about it that one of the things that I guess Bungie had been telling them is like, we don't think that you guys can just keep this going long term, like player retention, right? And it's like if you look at the amount of content that has come out for Arc Raiders, like it's not really that much for a live service game.
Right. It's
And
not,
yet because the core foundation gameplay is so good, player retention has kept. So like I keep thinking to myself, and you're right, that was such a great thing for you to say, Dan. We're all, like me especially, we're imagining like this great sort of utopian game. We don't know actually what it looked like. But if the core foundations were kind of like what we were thinking, where it's like, you know, a slower paced Arc Raiders with horror elements, like there could be something there to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like we don't know what it was going to be, but if anything, it would be kind of cool, or not. I guess not cool for the people working on this game, but like, you know, Arc Raiders comes out and then, you know, they go have a meeting with the Bungie execs and they're like, yeah, you were saying?
It's so, it's not to make this about Bandai again, but it's so crazy that Bungie is the one who said that when they are the ones who make the good gameplay that everybody came back to. And it wasn't because of the content, because the content was shit sometimes. It was awful, but we kept coming back because the core
Right.
of it was good. The gameplay was good, so we kept coming back to play the good game. So it's not always about keeping it alive by the next big expansion or anything like that at all. And Bungie should know that the best.
It's a really good point.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That 30 seconds of fun. You got to find the 30 seconds of fun and then exploit the shit out of it. All right. That is our news of the week, guys. Let's hop on over to our quick bites. Our first quick bite here, a little bit of a remembrance. We're going to change the tone back down. We're coming back down. See, look at that transition. Back down. All right. We are remembering the life of Vince Zampella. This is Jeff Keighley posting next Wednesday at the DICE Summit in Las Vegas. I'll be joined by Xbox's Phil Spencer, Bethesda's Todd Howard, and EA's Laura Mealy, and others to remember the life and legacy of Respawn's Vince Zampella, who of course tragically passed away last year. And there's also an interesting article here to add to this that I thought was very interesting, and like the idea behind this could have been very cool. Jeff Keighley also posted at DICE. Hideo Kojima also revealed that he had many discussions with Vince Zampella about creating a first-person Metal Gear Solid game together after the release of Metal Gear Solid 4. Could have been really cool. Two of the great minds of the industry working together on a first-person project. So it was very fascinating to see that, but obviously very cool that they're holding this remembrance for Vince Zampella. Our next quick bite here. Sony announced Horizon Hunters Gathering, which is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC with a closed beta coming in the end of February. It's completely different art style, as we kind of got from some leaks ahead of time. It's a more cartoony art style. It's a live service multiplayer game with a cartoony art style, as I said. But combat is tactical, reactive, and deeply skill-based, building on the tactical precision of the Horizon games while embracing the dynamics of team play. The foundation of Horizon Hunters Gathering centers around challenging and replayable hunts. The game developer confirmed that there are two game modes: Machine Incursion, which is described as a high-intensity mission where waves of machines pour out from underground gateways led by a formidable boss, and Cauldron Descent, a longer multi-stage trial in which ever-changing rooms push hunters to their limits, from brutal machine encounters to hidden doors that promise power and reward for teams prepared to open them. Both modes will be available in the upcoming closed playtest. The name, first off, we talked about it in our chat, Horizon Hunters Gathering. What a fucking awful name.
Really bad, like kind of exceptionally bad name.
It sounds like a
I was thinking
mobile.
about this too. A mobile game. Hunters Gathering. I was thinking, I don't know if it helps that much, but I was thinking just like adding a Hunter's Gathering or the Hunter's Gathering would have helped so much
Yeah.
in this naming scheme. But either it's still bad either way. But I don't know. Hunter's Gathering just sounds weird.
Yeah, like we know. I think we normally, or maybe not we. I normally rag on a lot of the subtitled games, but like a colon would go crazy here. Like,
yes.
this is absolutely like just mouth soup of like trying to say this. Like, I noticed, Dan, that when you first read it, you slowed down the rest, like compared to the rest of the sentence. It's just such a bad, like it's like I said, it's an exceptionally bad name. I don't know what they're doing.
It doesn't flow at all. And
no, zero flow to it whatsoever.
And then I posted in our chat when you said, what an awful title. I said, Horizon Monster Demon Hunters Magic the Gathering. No, Horizon Monster Hunters the Gathering. No, Horizon Hunters Gathering. It's like they mashed fucking different things together, and it's like, it does not work at all. All right. Horizon Hunters Gathering coming to you in 2026. We got some more info about Xbox's plans for game releases in 2026 coming from Jez Corden. Or I'm sorry, not Jez Corden, from Tom Warren. I apologize. And he has his article paywalled because The Verge decided to go with a pay model, and so I have it linked elsewhere here. But Tom Warren has shed more light today on this new report, pointing out that there's a big effort internally for Microsoft to release a new Forza, Fable, Gears, and Halo games on time in 2026. The big four. Warren says that Halo Combat Evolved, or Campaign Evolved, is aiming to launch in summer of 2026 as things stand, while Gears of War E-Day is scheduled for some point in the second half of the year, with Xbox keen to avoid being too close to GTA 6. I understand. There's a quote here. I understand Microsoft has a good idea of when both should launch, but it's also keen to avoid being too close to GTA 6's November 19th date. Beyond the big four, it's believed that Double Fine's Kiln will be releasing in April of 2026, and new Starfield content will also arrive during that month. We first heard about planned improvements for Starfield back in December, and then earlier today it was suggested that a PS5 release could happen in April as well. Finally, the other potential major release that Tom Warren mentions for 2026 is Fallout 3 Remastered. But although he mentions that it's in active development, he doesn't commit to a 2026 launch, meaning that Bethesda is keen to ensure it's as well polished as the surprise release as the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered last year. So yeah, all of that. My biggest takeaway from this is I hope that they're giving their teams enough time to put this stuff out. And I get trying to avoid GTA 6, but if Halo Campaign Evolved isn't ready in summer of 2026, maybe let's not release it in summer of 2026. Let's release it next year. I don't know.
Like I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm sure we all have. Like, so like if you have a big game like Halo is obviously not as big as it once was, but it's a household name. Like you're starting in like February, like there'd be no competition around it. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand this sort of like old school like it's a premier title, so it has to launch in the premier window. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I totally agree with you, and I think they should be willing to experiment with their release windows a bit more. Because by the same token, like, what do you do? Do you delay it a whole year, even though they only need an extra 3 months of polish? Like that also seems to me whack. So I don't know. There was something else that you mentioned. Oh, did Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake have a reputation for being extremely polished when it launched? I must have missed that. I don't think it wasn't a broken launch, but I didn't think people were. It felt very janky to me when I play it, and maybe that was by design to keep it like its original. But I'm certainly hoping that. I guess maybe this is just me being a Fallout fan. I'm hoping they're shooting for a little bit more than what the Oblivion remake was. But it seems like that's probably not the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't actually played it, so I don't even know. I know. I think what you're saying is what people had criticisms about the dated mechanics. Maybe it's supposed to be like reminiscent of the original, but yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather see a full blown remake, or very remastered. There's like light remastered or
Right.
very remastered. Like, I don't know.
That's the thing with how long this Fallout remaster remake has been in development. Like, I know you and I have talked about this, right? Where it's like all we need is for it to be in Creation Engine 2 and to play
Right.
like Fallout 4. Like that's all that is the bar. That's all you need to hurdle. So if it is like the Oblivion, I didn't know that you didn't play the Oblivion remaster, but I'll just tell you, it is very much a texture, surface level lighting, but aside from that, it plays exactly like how it did before. So if Fallout 3 remaster comes out and it's that same thing, like you and I were talking about, the power armor and how that could be such an easy sort of layup of like having the power armor function like how it does in Fallout 4 in these older games. But if they are again aiming for the level of quote unquote remaster that Oblivion was, then that's not what we're getting. We're getting just a texture sort of a retextured with advanced lighting, which is like, will I play it? Yeah. Will it be like kind of disappointing? Like, also, yeah.
Time will tell. Sony has made $2.37 billion from selling their games on PC and Xbox. New data released from Sony indicates the company has generated all that from selling on both of those platforms. That is a lot of money. Holy. I'll just take 1 billion. You want to give me one?
This one.
Craig Mazin, of course, the showrunner for the Last of Us series on HBO, is working on a Baldur's Gate TV adaptation that will follow the events of Baldur's Gate 3. Now, initially, Larian had said, of course, the creators of Baldur's Gate 3 said that they had no ties to this whatsoever. But then later, the CEO did say that Craig reached out to him specifically to have a conversation. So at least there is some kind of dialogue happening there for fans of Baldur's Gate.
I'll say this, Craig Mazin, this is going to be the deciding adaptation because Chernobyl, I genuinely think maybe one of the greatest miniseries of all time, easily in the top 5 for me. The Last of Us season 1, I liked. Last of Us season 2, not very good, I don't think. So this for me, it'll be like, okay, can you keep claiming studio interference, or can we? What was the other one too? Borderlands, right? Which he removed his name from because obviously Borderlands was Borderlands. But so this will be the deciding factor for me. This will be like, okay, do you have the sauce, or did you get lucky with the first season of The Last of Us?
Okay. We have one more cast edition for God of War on Prime Video. Ro and I talked about this last week. Or wait. Yeah, last week, right?
It was last week because I wasn't there. Also, crazy that you didn't mention that Ryan Hurst played Thor in God of War Ragnarok.
Oh. I didn't realize that.
That's because you were like, yeah, Ryan Hurst, he was great in Sons of Anarchy. And I'm like, you're not wrong, but also like there's a stronger connection here, which is that he played Thor in Ragnarok.
Okay, I did not realize.
He's such a great this is such a great casting choice. Like, yeah, they thought of it twice.
This is the second time they chose this guy.
Whoops. So this new cast edition is, of course, for another big character for the series, which is Callum Vinson will be playing Atreus in the God of War series.
I'm not familiar with this kid, but I hope he's good.
He looks familiar, and I was trying to figure out why. Wonder what he was in that I
He was
recognize.
in
The Night Agent.
Playday with Winnie the Pooh. Oh,
He's from The Night Agent because I really like The Night Agent, and I do. Yep, I remember him from that. I'm looking at his IMDb.
that's a Netflix show, right?
Yes.
Night Agent.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, my mom watches this. I've watched like a season or two with her as well.
Hell yeah.
I didn't recognize him though.
Oh, he's also in the Chucky TV series. Okay. I also
And
watched
it's
that.
Playday with Winnie the Pooh. I keep saying.
Hell yeah. All right. The next quick bite here. Replaced has a demo available right now on PC. Go play it. Seen a lot of people talking highly about this game, boys. This might be some points for me. We'll see. Our next quick bite. Overwatch is making a resurgence. It has set an all-time new peak on Steam with the release of Season 1, with over 165,000 concurrent players, which is more than double the previous record. The update has added 5 new heroes and more. Seems like a lot of people are very happy about this update and the state of Overwatch after this. People talking about jetpack cats as well. Are you going to put a jetpack on your cats, Gage?
Would be huge, actually.
Bro, are you going to go back to Overwatch? I know you played for a while at some point.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this game back in the PS4 days. And I took a break, obviously, when it became Overwatch 2, and a little bit before that. But I really used to love it. I've been thinking about it. It's free now, so I could just boot it up and give it a shot. No real loss there. So yeah, I might dip my toes. I'm not sure. But this is kind of back to what Gage was saying earlier, where it was like the core gameplay is good.
Right.
Now they fixed it. Now people are coming back to try it again. It's
Right.
not over until it's over. Yeah.
God damn it, Glenn. Glenn writes, did you better not think about doing that to either the boys? I feel like they don't need him. They just Zoom all the time. Glenn, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do.
It's crazy that I understood exactly what he meant.
What did he? Please, we have our Glenn translator on the line. Glenn translator, please tell us.
He says that I better not even consider putting a jetpack on either of the cats because they both navigate the house so fast as it is. That's what Glenn told the idea of like the monkey with the typewriter. Oh.
Sorry. My audio was freaking out. Like you were fucking sounding like an alien, so I think Discord was fucked up for me. Say that again?
When did I get cut off?
You said the first part about explaining Glenn and the cats, talking about the cats, and then the second part kind of drifted away.
Oh, just that the Glenn texting is like the monkey with the typewriter. Like eventually something will come out that's like half legible, but you're gonna have to wait for it.
Buddy, I should stop voice texting, or if I'm going to continue, I need to read it first. That's what he just said in the chat.
The buddy was crazy. That was perfect.
Did that sound like he was here for a second?
It did. Buddy.
All right. The last quick bite here. No Man's Sky has released another free update, adding a gravity gun to the game, waste cleanup, and more. They continue their beautiful ads.
No, Sean, please. I can't take any more free content. Please. You're going to take it.
That isn't just your audio. That's been happening half and on throughout the show. What do you mean, Glenn? Has it been doing it for my voice too? Because if so, then I need to uninstall this new wavelink because that might be the issue. But yeah, I didn't notice it. I did notice a little bit earlier, but it hasn't been like anywhere near what that was just like. So you let me know, Glenn. Let me know if my voice is sounding like that as well. Because I may have to download the old version next week. Maybe I shouldn't have switched to this yet since it's still in beta.
You were hyping it up the other night too on Arc Raiders. You were like, Wavelength 3, it's fantastic.
In terms of functionality, like what you can do with it, I didn't know that the audio, like if that's what's causing the audio. I thought it was Discord that was causing that. So
I'm not trying to hit you with the holier than thou either, because I said that I downloaded Windows 11 like a month after it came out, and I was like, guys, the feature set, it's so great, and then Windows 11 became Windows 11. So.
Oof. All right, let's dive in. Make sure you let me know, Glenn. I haven't seen you respond to that. Let me know if my voice has been sounding weird too through the show, or has it just been the boys? Okay, fantasy critic check in here. Let's go ahead and look at the league history to see if anybody picked up anything, and I don't know why it keeps defaulting to 2025. We are in 2026. We have multiple moves by Mr. Roshan Warner. His team is Kirby's Ride or Dies, and he has multiple pickups here. The first one, Ro, I don't know if you're too happy with, because you acquired Romeo is a Dead Man with a bid of $5.
I sure did.
And
not
then,
turn out well for me.
which we'll get to that in just a second. And you also acquired Demon Tides with a bid of $5. And lastly, you acquired Tomodachi Life Living the Dream with another bid of $5.
Yes, sir. Tomodachi Life is probably my most confident pickup out of the three. Romeo was a Dead Man. I was I was in the middle, but I thought Suda 51 games did better than I thought in my head until Christian told me that they didn't. Yeah.
Oof.
Dang.
Oof.
They're more of an acquired taste, I've learned.
Very acquired. Romeo is the Dead Man, of course, is launching tomorrow. No, I'm sorry, today. It launched today. And it already has scores in here, which sitting at a 73, giving you 3 points, Ro. 3 points. Oof.
3 points, let's go.
Oh no.
I will say, on Steam, very positive. But that's Steam. Not OpenCritic.
That's true. That's unfortunate. You've got 2 games now that are less than 4 points or less. Not a good start.
Not a good start at all.
But
I do have GTA 6, which is coming out this year.
Is it?
Better be above. I certainly hope so.
I think we talked about Neo 3 last week for Gage's team, but just in case it changed, because it did come out since then, it's sitting at an 85, giving Gage 15 points. Look at that. Gage is getting freaking points.
I told you this is the year that I'm winning, and nobody believed me for some reason.
I still don't believe you. Okay. So, with that being said, our current point totals are Gage in first. UncRaider.gov is sitting at 30 points with 2 games released. Roe is sitting in second with 22 points with 3 games released. And Christian and I are just sitting back with our feet up and we're like, yeah, we're the fucking 2 winners. It ain't even close to over yet, boys. Glenn said, well, I gotta read this as Glenn. Well, Dan, it isn't just the guys' voices. Every now and again, you can hear like a staticky sound in the audio, and I thought it was just my earbuds, but then I just took them out, and it still does it. Okay, thank you, Glenn. I will have to listen back and see if maybe it might be the new thing that I have. Then I may need to go back to Wavelength 2.0. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. So our release schedule here, upcoming release. Ro, you just picked up Demon Tides coming out February 19th. That is the next one up. That's next Friday. Next Thursday. And then Resident Evil Requiem is coming out the week after that for my team on that Friday, the 27th. And then we have Replaced coming out March 12th, also for my team. Then we're starting to cook. Let's go. Then March 13th, we have Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection for Gage's team. And that rounds out our February and March outlooks here coming up. All right. Dive into what you got for me. Dan, what you got for me? Don't have much of anything new. I don't have anything new, sorry. Still been playing Arc Raiders because I'm still a piece of shit. And yeah, there's times that my mental capacity is emptied for this game. And Ro, you don't know this, but Gage Gage firsthand experienced one of these fucking mental lapses, and not good. Not good.
Not good.
It was a serious crash out for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I get pissed off too. Like, it's not like I don't understand what you're saying. The only time I ever push back, which is, and it's not even that I'm disagreeing, I'm just making sure everybody is remembering that, like, a negative experience with the game does not mean that the game itself is, like, doing anything wrong. It just means that, you know, you're getting your shit pushed in, which happens every now and again.
Yes, and
Christian was saying some crazy things, like, do I like this? Is this actually a good game? Is it mid? And that's crazy. It's a fantastically well-designed game that just sometimes can be punishing if you drop your guard.
Well, hang on. We didn't drop our guard for that. We definitely didn't drop our guard for that crash out. We were fully guarded.
There have been times, I think, where, like, it'll happen to me too, where I'll get swept up in it, but, like, maybe we're appealing to, like, you know, okay, maybe they won't. Whereas, like, now I think going forward, because you have to admit, we did have we had a session after that happened where we were just completely steamrolling. I think there are moments that we died because we were like, okay, well, maybe they won't, as opposed to being like, we just spent the whole match grinding. We're not taking any fucking chances. Shoot on sight. You know what I mean? Like, which has happened to me too, where I'm appealing to people's better nature, and then you find out that those people just do not have a better nature. It's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Yes. And I had a semi crash out when I said this, but I truly believe this. Like, I feel like Arc Raiders is like a social construct to the point where it almost perfectly illustrates the problems of our society and shows, like, pieces of shits sometimes win. That's how things happen. Like, you know, you're not all good people succeed in life, and that's, you know, part of the crash out is these pieces of shits that succeed, and, you know, why should they succeed?
It's too real.
Yeah. Which isn't a problem with the game, it's just a problem with society as a whole, in my eyes. But I understand.
They wanted the extra loot.
I understand people thinking that's too deep, but, like, that's That is literally what I was.
Well, because you have to do the online factor, right? Like it's like because I'll like so here's a good example. Somebody might say the same thing about the Twitter or the internet, but like there is a multiplier, which is that it's easier to be an asshole when the stakes are low. So like that's why I push back where I'm like I don't think Arc Raiders is a perfect example because it's it's not actual life or like I feel like people are probably a bit better IRL, which is true for like Reddit or Twitter or anything like that because it's just easier to be. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day though, some of those like again like they won the gunfight. That's what it comes down to, and it's like if we can lock in and like somebody's waiting around on extract for us. Trying to rinse all of our stuff after we just spent the whole match grinding trials. It's like if we can dominate them, then it's like then we're feeling like absolute chads.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
We gotta lock in. We gotta lock in and collect skulls. Is what I'm saying.
But locking in doesn't change your skill level. So like if I'm still, a mid player and these guys are fucking cracked out of their minds and they're just assholes, you're kind of fucked.
Right. True. Very true.
I don't know. Okay, Ro, what you got?
Also nothing new. I've been playing more Animal Crossing again, and a little bit more of Persona 3 Reload, both on my Switch too. And yeah, that's it, just progressing through those two games. Chill and story mode stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Reloaded. What's the next Persona remaster going to be called?
We actually know Persona 4 Revival.
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Revival, yeah.
Oh, incredible names. That's like a Kojima name right there.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Gage, what you got?
A lot of Arc Raiders as well, but I did actually just today roll credits on Silent Hill 2 Remake.
Oh.
It's interesting because I was definitely dragging my feet for the first little bit, and I was worried. I was like, "Damn, like, am I not connecting with this game that everybody considers like a classic and one of the great survival horrors?" And somewhere around the halfway mark, something just clicked with me, and I played like the last 6 hours in almost one sitting, I think. So the second half of that game really, really connected with me. And maybe it was just one of those Witcher 3 scenarios where like if I go back and play the first half, I just like the whole thing now. I'm leaning towards that's what actually happened. It just took me a while to kind of get used to the tempo of the game because it is a lot slower than like something like Resident Evil, which would be one of its contemporaries. And the story is a lot less. Like you kind of have to do a lot of heavy lifting to figure out what's going on and what the game's trying to say. But by the end of it, I was like, damn, this really is a great game. Some of the last levels in that game, the level design of some of those last areas, really, really good stuff. Lots of fun puzzles, just a fantastic game. So. Silent Hill 2 Remake, 2 big thumbs up from me for sure.
Hell yeah. All right. I think that does it for us then, gents. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
Blaze on, soldiers.